Yo, what's up with it, y'all? It's JD, Travelsthenix, and I'm back with another quick video. Today's video is going to be about how I made my physical transformation by getting rid of some unhealthy habits and gaining some new healthy ones. Before we get into the video, if you're new to the channel and enjoy travel and fitness content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you can get updates whenever I drop new content. Now back to the video. To be honest with you guys, it's not just the typical diet and workout stuff that helped me make the transformation from unhealthy to much healthier and physically fit. When I speak about health, I'm talking about physically, mentally, and spiritually. I won't go too deep on all this and ramble, but I will share with you what I believe to be the most important aspects of my process. I'm going to start off with a little background. The before picture that you've seen in the thumbnail was taken when I first moved back from Japan and was living in California for a bit. Before me making my move to Hawaii, I was living in Japan off and on for 3 years because I had an Airbnb business out there. I was definitely living a life of excess, too much eating, with eating about 3 meals per day, snacking all the time on sweets or whatever else I can get my hands on. Too much consuming, I'd impulse buy because I had a lack of self-control and discipline. Too much kicking it, I was drinking heavy almost every single day and always around people. I was making more money than I ever had, and I wasn't used to being able to do basically whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. Another thing about drinking in Japan is it usually involves snacks as well. Another huge problem to add on to all this was the fact that I was barely getting any sleep. I was having a hard time sleeping, and it was pretty much just due to stress, which was also affecting my breathing and my moods. I had a bit too much on my plate at the time as far as my business, and I was trying to do too much instead of hiring people to take on some of the responsibilities. Now, the biggest problem in my life at the time was that I was just never alone. I never had time to sit down and think, definitely not for prolonged periods of time. I think everybody needs extended periods of time alone to get to know yourself and also what you need specifically to be living a healthy lifestyle. All these things were adding up to be a cocktail for destroying my mind, body, and my spirit. So the turning point for me was moving to Hawaii. I randomly just picked up and left the Bay Area, and I was finishing up doing my Airbnb business in Japan because the laws were changing. I initially had a lot of visitors in Hawaii. Some girls would come out and visit me from time to time. My little bro Kwame came out and stayed with me a few times, but eventually I hit a point where I started picking up books again, consuming information on health, and just spending a lot of time alone. I also realized at the rate that I was going, I was headed to a bad place in many aspects of my life, especially health. I eventually took about 6 months of solitude. The alone time is really what changed my life. I began to learn about diet first and foremost. I gave up eating meat, and that was pretty much just to cleanse my body. I went to an extreme diet for a while, which was Dr. Sebi's alkaline diet, and I did that strictly for about 6 to 8 months. I still feel like that's one of the healthiest diets that you can be on for longevity. I also started doing intermittent fasting, 16 hours off and 8 hours on. And that time I went from 200 pounds to about 175 pounds. And at my lowest weight, I was about 168 pounds. Although I'm usually around 178 to 180 pounds right now, I needed to get down to that weight to build myself back up the right way. My diet isn't as strict now, but I still keep a plant base with a small amount of animal protein from time to time. That being about once a week. Now, as far for staple foods in my diet, I'm going to share with you guys a list. Avocado, spinach, bell pepper, mushroom, egg, onion, corn tortillas, ghee butter. That's what I usually use to break my fast every day, which is usually about 18 hours per day now. I switch it up from time to time, but that's the usual meal that I usually start my day with. Now, I usually only eat one other meal per day, and that's usually around 4 or 5 p.m. Now, that usually consists of some kind of green veggie, like Brussels sprouts, broccoli, asparagus, and I use those as the base. And then I'll add some other type of dish to go with it, like pasta and red sauce or pasta and pesto sauce, stir-fried vegetables over rice, garbanzo beans, lima beans, chili or curry or something like that. Occasionally I'll have some meat like some chicken or fish. My main thing is I need to have a big portion of green veggies every day. I try to keep my food more plant-based and green because I want my food to be able to move through my system easily. Also, daily I consume a smoothie that consists of some seeds, peanut butter, fruit, alternative milk such as coconut, almond, or my personal favorite, oat milk. This also helps with digestion. In my opinion, you should be using the toilet at least twice a day, if not more. Now let's get to the fitness aspect. Anybody who knows me closely knows I've been active my entire life. I played sports all throughout my life, and I even got a basketball scholarship after high school. I probably could have gotten a scholarship in other sports like track if I would have took it serious. But at the time, I didn't really know what real dedication and discipline was in my younger years. It took me a while to get it, but over the years I learned what training is all about and what form of training works for me. So back in the days, probably around the ages of 18 to 30, I was really into lifting weights. I was pretty good with having a diverse amount of exercises, total body workouts and all that, but I really never got the results that I wanted. To be honest with you, I thought that some people just couldn't get super ripped or couldn't get six packs. Seemed like I was working out about 2 hours a day, hitting the jump rope or doing cardio, playing basketball, and I just didn't get to where I wanted to be. Of course, my diet was a big part of this, but the training was as well. So around the age of 31, I started implementing 1 day a week of calisthenics and plyometric workouts only. I started to really enjoy those days, and even though they were the most challenging, I felt like I was getting the most results from those days. I started peeping out YouTube videos of cats doing calisthenics online and how a lot of those calisthenics athletes had the physique that I was trying to attain. I seen the crazy stuff that Hannibal for King was doing, and I just wanted to be able to do some of the stuff. A muscle up, a front lever, or something. So I strictly started doing calisthenics around the age of 32 years old, and I started with the basics. Dips, pull-ups, push-ups, squats, lunges, all that type of stuff. Eventually I built up the strength to start trying more advanced movements like muscle-ups, lever raises, handstands, human flags. It's all a training process, and I definitely enjoy it immensely. The physical results come over time. You can check back to some of my earlier videos and see the process that I've been through. I slowly built up to having the physique that I have now, and I'm still improving. The more I switch things up and the more that I learn, the more solid my body gets. One thing that I will tell you about training, diet, and all this stuff is that nothing happens overnight. It takes time to build up to a quality physique. For some, it might take longer than others. Some of us are trying to drop weight and tone up. Others are trying to gain weight and build muscle. There's a lot of hard work, dedication, and pushing through mental blocks that goes into it. But one thing I will tell you is this: every mental block that you push through, every hurdle that you overcome, the satisfaction is unparalleled. It feels great to pull off a new calisthenics movement or hit a personal record in terms of reps. But anyways, y'all, that's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll be dropping more fitness and health content coming soon. Also more travel content as well. I appreciate you guys checking out my content, and I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.